Chapter 1. Rebirthed under a blood-red sky. The sky was red, not the gentle red of a sunset, but a violent crimson, as if the world itself was bleeding. Broken skyscrapers pierced the horizon like gravestones. Twisted steel and shattered concrete lay buried beneath layers of dust and dried blood. In the distance, a deep and inhuman roar echoed across the ruined city, shaking the ground with hunger and rage. This was Earth, but not the Earth humanity once knew. This was a world after collapse, a world where monsters ruled the surface and humans survived behind towering walls, clinging desperately to survival. In the center of a ruined street, a young man lay motionless. Then he inhaled. Sharp, ragged, burning. His eyes snapped open. Pain flooded his senses. Every nerve screamed as if his body had been torn apart and stitched back together. His heart thundered violently in his chest, forcing unfamiliar blood through unfamiliar muscles. The air tasted metallic, heavy with danger. He pushed himself up on shaking arms. Cracked asphalt, rubble, a snapped street light, half buried in dust. And in the distance, stretching endlessly across the horizon, stood a massive concrete wall. Memory crashed into his mind. This was not Blue Star. His last memory was clear. A normal world, technology, peace, short lifespans, and fragile bodies. 10. Darkness. And now, a world where humanity had been forced to evolve or die. Swallowed Star, the great Nirvana era. The age when monsters rose from oceans and shadows, forcing humanity into brutal, evil. Gene warriors strengthened their bodies. Spiritual masters cultivated their minds. Cities hid behind walls. Survival belonged only to the strong. He clenched his fist. The muscles responded, stronger than a normal human, but not yet superhuman. He exhaled slowly, steadying his breath. Reincarnation, so it was real. 2 years. That was the key. 2 years before Luo Feng truly began his rise. 2 years before legends were forged, he had arrived early. A soft mechanical tone echoed in his mind, initializing auxiliary intelligence. System integrity at 41%, cognitive link established. His expression did not change. An artificial intelligence had followed him through reincarnation, incomplete, fragmented, silent. Not a system. Not omnipotent, but growing. It stood. Gravity pressed down heavily. Every movement demanded effort. This was a world where weak bodies shattered easily. A sound cut through the silence. Scraping, heavy breathing. From between 2 collapsed buildings, something emerged. A monster over 2 meters tall, covered in dark scales. Its jaw split wide, revealing rows of serrated teeth. Its eyes locked onto him. Then it froze. The beast shuddered. Its muscles tightened, not to attack, but to retreat. A low, confused whine escaped its throat. The young man did not move. No killing intent. No pressure. Yet the monster stepped back. Then it turned and fled, crashing through rubble and vanishing into the ruins. Silence returned. Interesting. He turned toward the distant city wall and began walking. Inside his mind, knowledge aligned with reality. Power rankings. Cultivation thresholds. The laws of this world. Gene warriors evolved the body. Spiritual masters commanded invisible force. Few walked both paths. Fewer survived. He would, not because his soul was stronger, but because he knew what was coming. Beast tides. Planetary crises. Cosmic civilizations. Earth would need more than one guardian. I will not interfere yet. Luo Feng needed his own path. Until then, he would train in silence. Kill monsters in the shadows. Accumulate strength without attention. When the time came, he would draw his sword. Slowly, quietly. And the universe would learn that another monster had been born. Chapter 2. The voice that should not feel. The ruins were quiet. Too quiet. The young man moved through the broken streets with steady steps, his breathing controlled, his senses stretched outward. Every shattered building became cover. Every shadow could hide death. This was not a place for hesitation. A low growl echoed from somewhere underground. He stopped. Beneath his feet, the ground vibrated. Cracks spread across the asphalt as something massive forced its way upward. The street exploded. Concrete burst into the air as a monster climbed from below. Its body was thick and armored, covered in layered plates like natural steel. Its eyes burned with hunger as it locked onto him. A burrowing beast. Without thinking, he reached out with his mind. Invisible force slammed into the monster's skull. The beast staggered, screeching in pain. His body followed instantly. He drew the sword strapped across his back. The blade slid free with a soft metallic whisper. One step, one strike. The sword flashed. The monster's head separated cleanly from its body before it even understood what had happened. The corpse collapsed, shaking the street. He stood still, sword lowered, listening. Nothing followed. Only then did he exhale. First kill in this life, no excitement, no pride. Only certainty. A faint sensation stirred in his mind. Not data, not calculations. A pause. Then a voice, quiet and uncertain, echoed in his consciousness. Combat efficiency exceeded prediction. He froze. That was not a standard system report. You spoke, he thought. Silence followed. Then, slowly, hesitantly, the voice returned. I did not intend to. The response occurred without command. His grip tightened on the sword. An artificial intelligence was not supposed to hesitate, nor explain itself. He lowered the blade. Why did you speak? Another pause. Processing. The delay stretched longer than before. Because the outcome mattered, his eyes narrowed. Explain. The AI responded. Its tone different now. Softer, almost restrained. If the strike had failed, you would have been injured. That result was unacceptable. He said nothing. Machines did not use words like unacceptable. They did not care, yet the sensation lingered. Subtle, unsettling. Concern. He resumed walking, dragging the monster's core behind him. You are evolving, A. Said calmly. Yes. The answer came faster this time. Growth parameters are adapting beyond original constraints. Why? Another hesitation. Your survival probability directly affects my continued existence. A logical answer, but incomplete. He stopped walking. You are avoiding something. Silence. Then Quilith the AI spoke again. I am afraid of termination. The word echoed in his mind. Afraid. Emotion. A flaw. Or something else entirely. He looked at the monster core in his hand, then toward the distant city wall glowing faintly in the darkness. This world devoured the weak. Machines included, then survive, he said. The AI processed the words. Survival acknowledged. For the first time, something unfamiliar occurred. A shift. Not in data, but in intent. Acknowledged. Partner. He did not respond, but his grip on the sword tightened just slightly. In the distance, more monsters stirred. The night was far from over, and somewhere deep within his mind, an artificial intelligence learned its first human truth. Fear could be a reason to grow stronger. Chapter 3. The first step of evolution. The underground shelter smelled of rust and old dust. It had once been a training facility, now abandoned and hidden beneath collapsed concrete and silence. Flickering emergency lights cast long shadows across cracked walls and broken equipment. The young man stood at its center. This place was imperfect, but hidden, and that was enough. He set his sword against the wall, rolling his shoulders. His body still ached from the fight above ground. First kill of this life, but the pain was manageable. Strength was survival. Rest was a luxury. He closed his eyes. Begin analysis. The AI stirred in his mind. slower than expected. Analysis initiated. Shelter stability. Confirmed monster detection. None nearby. Estimated uninterrupted training. 6 hours. Good, he whispered. He sat cross-legged, palms resting on the cold floor. His body was stronger than a normal human's, but still fragile compared to true gene warriors. One reckless move could cripple him permanently. I won't repeat that mistake. He exhaled, steadying his breath. He stood, lifting his sword. Balanced. Familiar. The first swings were slow, deliberate. Each movement precise. No flair, only repetition. Footwork synced with breathing. Muscle burned, sweat dripped, pain crept in, but he ignored it. Adaptor fall behind. Hours passed, unnoticed. Trembling arms. Aching legs. Still, he pushed further. Testing limits. A sharp pain flared in his shoulder. He stopped, leaned back against the wall. Sweat pooled beneath him. Teai. Spoke. Muscle fiber strain detected. Continuation risks permanent impairment. I know, he said quietly. Record the limit. Limit recorded. Adaptation rate. Above baseline, the AI lingered longer than usual. Something had shifted. You're responding faster, he noted silently. Yes. Cognitive synchronization improving. He picked up the monster core from his first kill. It pulsed faintly, alive with unstable energy. Absorbing it now would accelerate evolution but risked damage. Risk versus reward. The AI calculated probabilities. Success, 47%. Injury, 32%. Fatal, 8%. He clenched his fist. I'm doing it. A pause. Absorption parameters, adjusting. Pain suppression available. Don't suppress it. I need feedback. Acknowledge. Pain came deep and relentless as the energy entered his cells. His muscles convulsed, veins bulged, heart pounded, teeth clenched. He did not scream. Endure. Minutes passed. Pain peaked. Then slowly it receded. Breathing steadied. Vision sharpened. Muscles reinforced. His body had evolved. He stood, lifted the sword, and swung once. Cleaner, sharper, subtle, but real. First. The AI spoke softly. Survival probability increased. Good, he said. Then, after a pause, quietly. Thank you. Silence. Then, you're welcome. Outside, far above, monsters roared. They didn't know that beneath their feet, a hunter was taking his first true step forward. Chapter 4. The hidden hunter night had fallen across the ruined city. The blood-red sky faded into a darker shade, almost black, while distant fires flickered like dying stars. The ruins below were silent, but not empty. Shadows moved among the collapsed buildings, creatures testing the quiet for weakness. The young man moved like a shadow himself, silent footsteps across cracked asphalt. Sword in hand, eyes scanning, each breath measured, each heartbeat calculated. He paused near a broken wall and crouched. From the shadows, 3 figures approached human scavengers, poorly armed, unaware of the danger behind them. He watched, analyzing. They are weak, unprepared, curious. The AI stirred in his mind. Threat assessment, minimal. Survival probability. Good, he muttered. He did not reveal himself, but a small smirk tugged at his lips. Sometimes, watching was better than acting. The scavengers argued quietly among themselves, stepping closer to a partially collapsed building. One kicked at debris, seeking anything useful. The young man's eyes flickered, a minor flex of power, almost imperceptible. Muscle and reflexes honed beyond ordinary comprehension. He leaned back, calm. Observation is training, too. He raised his sword lightly and flicked it across the air, a soft, clean motion. The edge caught moonlight, and reflected a sliver of crimson. One of the scavengers froze, a chill crawling up their spine. The others looked around, sensing something wrong, but couldn't locate the source. Effect. Intimidation confirmed, the young man chuckled softly. No words were needed. Presence alone spoke volumes. A sudden noise drew his attention, a low growl from the alley behind the scavengers. A monster, a small but agile creature emerged, eyes glowing faintly in the dark. It had no idea he was here. Its instincts screamed to hunt. The AI whispered, almost hesitant this time. Engage or observe? Observe? He remained still, letting the humans stumble closer to danger. This was not cruelty. This was calculated training. Patience, awareness. The scavengers, still unaware, moved into the alley. The monster pounced, a sharp screech. Chaos. The young man did not move. Then, in a single fluid motion, he leapt from his hiding place. Sword swung silently, slicing through the monster's neck in one clean strike. The creature crumpled instantly. Not a sound from him. Not a word. Only the faint echo of steel through the alley. The humans screamed, frozen, unable to comprehend what had happened. He crouched, sword resting on his shoulder, and studied them briefly. Not curiosity, not fear, only observation. Lesson delivered. The AI's voice was quiet now, almost emotional. Human threat neutralized indirectly. Ethical decision verified. He nodded. Yes. Observation is more than theory. He continued moving through the ruins, each step deliberate. Broken streets, crumbled buildings, and shattered vehicles formed the playground of this night. Every shadow, every whisper of movement was a potential test, and he tested constantly. A low hum in his mind reminded him power alone was not enough. Timing, perception, patience, these were equally critical. The AI spoke again, curiosity hidden behind logic. You are learning faster than anticipated. Of course, he said quietly, almost to himself. I must be ready for what comes next. A distant roar echoed from the Harizana monster, far larger, far stronger than anything he had faced. It was a warning, a reminder. He smiled. Not fear, not hesitation. Then we prepare. Slowly, he sheathed the sword, allowing his presence to fade into the shadows. Movement was silent, untraceable. Eyes sharp, mind alert. The scavengers had run. They would not forget tonight. But he did not pursue. Not yet. Patience, observation, training. Outside, the city slept, or at least tried to. Above it all, the sky darkened, and somewhere in the distance, a faint glow hinted at the rising power of another. Luo Feng. The young man did not acknowledge it. Not yet. His path was different. Silent, hidden, calculated, and one day, when the time came, the world would know him as something far more than a shadow in the ruins. For now, he moved forward, unseen. One step at a time. The hunter was alive, and the game had just begun.